Hello, welcome back, and thanks for joining me. I did a little snippet roll the other night while I was watching TV, and it's about, it's less than a yard long, but I used up a bunch of pink and green and beige, just little scraps, and I just came across this little box which has a bunch of very small items in it, and I thought I might add a couple things to the snippet roll just to round it out a bit. This pink I used at Valentine's, pink floral garland wreath thing. So just some of the places that look a little unfinished, I'm going to add a little bit of detail. Looks like it's been stuck down before. So I just like that combination of the pinks and the greens and a little bit of beige, not a lot of beige in there. There's another thing that could be used. I'll probably use them both separate. It's a little heart. And then this piece, I think what I'll do is I'll make a layered tag with a different color in behind there. I have this paper that would look pretty. Actually, that might not be enough contrast for me. Let's see what else I have. Maybe just do like a cream in the center would look better. This is an envelope, a Happy Mail envelope that I saved because it's really nice paper. And so I think I'll use that. Just add some tacky glue around the edges. Glue that down. It's almost exactly the right width. I'll line it up at the top there. Kind of just doing an arm's length crafting. Hubby's home, so I imagine I'll get interrupted, so I thought I'm not going to start a big detailed project that I don't want to get interrupted. I'll just play, and then if he comes in, it's no big deal. I don't have to air this. And then I can cut that hole. My hole punch is a little teardrop, just kind of cute. I love taking something that I find on my desk, maybe I didn't even realize I had it, and making it pretty. A little bit of ink. Just a vintage photo. and also on the back. This can be a nice lightweight tag. And then I'm thinking maybe it needs a little lace. I've got lace snippets that I want to try to use up, so maybe I'll do something like that down in the corner. And then I'll layer something on top of that. I'm thinking one of those little tiny rosebuds. It's really not even a rosebud, but it kind of gives the impression of one. And then if I can find a family photo that I can cut out well enough, I can do a little heart-shaped photo, or just a punched out circle even would work inside the heart. Let's see, are any of these the right shape? They're pretty close. Not identical. And then just a little bit of ribbon. I have some here that is clear iridescent. That'll be pretty. If I can poke it through there. Cut that a little short. There, so a little pink, a little mauve, some creamy off-white background, and then all it needs is a little picture in there. So I'm going to put that with my family photo stuff. So I'll save it out until the video's done. And let's see what else we have in here. These little hearts. Awfully cute. Probably should put them in my Valentine's box. For whatever reason, I just have them in here. I do like the small size for ATCs and stuff like that. Trying to decide where I want these to live. It's not like I will only use them at Valentine's. Stick them in a box inside a drawer. And then I've got some labels. Love is all around us, and Make a Wish, and With Love. That could be backed with cream or pink or blue. Let's see what looks the best. I've got some pink. I think I want a deeper color, like the deep pink that's in those little flowers. see what I've got here in my origami papers, because they have a little bit deeper colors. It doesn't have to be a solid color. There's a lot of solids, but could even be like that. That one's just sitting in there, folded. And then I'll take my ripple scissors and cut the same shape. These ripple scissors don't like the thinner paper. Yeah, that does look better. And this one says Make a Wish. Didn't cut a very good circle on this one, so the inking will help camouflage that fact. Now this one has some purple in it. There's some like berries, or they're pine cones, I think. But I'm seeing it as purple instead of brown for some reason. So let's do that. So if you haven't seen these stacks of origami paper, I think you're going to find them at Dollarama. Most Dollaramas will probably have it because it's such a good value. Now this is a while ago, but that was $4. 400 sheets of, it's 15 centimeters, so it should be 6 by 6. And it has a lot of solids, and then a lot of coordinating patterns. So I'm just trying to use a few of them. And they do, the brighter colors do add a nice touch to those labels. So here's another one from that same series. It says For You. So this would be something where I might put it onto a Happy Mail envelope inside the package or on the actual mailing envelope. And what color will that look good against? It kind of looks good against the purple, but I think I'm more inclined to put it with the pink because of the pink on the bird's chest. And on this one, because of the shape of it, I think I'm gonna I think I will still fussy cut it because I won't likely get it exact. And that's just a little more forgiving. There. I'm liking those. And then this can be backed onto this for sure. Or maybe I'll leave it loose and brad them together because that heart has a hole in it. So let me just, I'll go ahead and put the brad. And it can be just one of my tiny little brads in this case. A little dragonfly one. Let's use one of them up. These were bent over so that they could be sent in the mail. So I'll put it through the cardstock heart. And then I'll just make a little poke. Through the paper. Make it easier. And then I'm just trying to decide if I'll want another layer. I might, but I can always open this back up. That'll just hold it for me. And that's already a wavy edge, so I'm going to go ahead and do the ripple scissors around it. Giving myself about a 1/4 inch border. Close there. So what I could also do then is cut a few blank pages, the same, and have it like a little notebook that swivels. But that itself is pretty. It can just be glued down as an embellishment. And it is a cute way to make a little notebook too. So this one, the With Love, is mostly blue and pink. I'm not crazy about how that's looking for some reason. Let's see what other color we have in here. There is a yellow flower. I wonder if that would look good on the yellow. Definitely not my favorite color. And that blue's the wrong blue. That blue's the wrong blue. Could mix those, but I don't think that's quite right. It's not bad on the purple. Yeah, there isn't really, I mean, there's a turquoise. That one's not bad. It's different, but with the pink separating them, it's okay. Because I said so. And I think I'll do this one. I was going to do it straight, but I've just changed my mind mid-thought. Cut a fairly wide border. I can always trim it back when I go to use it, if I want to. So I got 3 colors on the go, plus a couple of patterns from a different book. Let's see what else we have in here. I might do some more of those little postage stamps. And there's a good little frame for a postage stamp. There's another one of those little for you. That same blue, so I should be able to do this. I kind of wouldn't mind doing a double layer on this one, I think. So we'll do pink first and then blue. Give it a little bit more presence. Use this little spot here. Sorry if I'm off camera. And I think I'm going to try it like this. So there's the pink behind it. That makes it look nice. And then I think if I put blue as well, it'll look really nice. I'll do it over here where I've got sort of an odd piece. And let's do just a rectangular frame around it. Kind of hard to take such a small amount off. Yeah, I might prefer to have that trimmed close. Like this. I need to sharpen these scissors. Maybe that's the problem. Although I think it's just the thin paper. There. Nice layers. Okay, what else is in here? A little piece of white paper. Just put that at the back. I've got a bunch that are a little bit bigger than a postage stamp, but they might still look better and be more likely to get used if I back them. So that one's got a barn and some ladies quilting and a farmhouse. I'm not sure what color I like best with that. What color I want to bring out. Maybe green even. Oh, I think this one will do. Put it sideways down in this corner. Let's see if I can just cut an even border. Maybe I should use my guillotine. That's pretty good. Could use another color behind it too, and that'd give it a little bit more strength to be a tuck spot or something. So let's see, what color would I want? The blue's not bad. Maybe that yellow, because there is some yellow, very small touches of yellow in it. And I do have a hard time using yellow. Yeah, I think that actually looks pretty good. Let's do it. Yellow's not likely going to be a theme of a journal for me. Closest I would get would be doing a sunflower journal, but I think it would just be the sunflowers that I would let be yellow. A lot of green with that theme. Maybe black and white. And then again, because I've put it down in the corner, I will do just a straight edge on this. It makes it bigger, which doesn't necessarily make it easier to use, but it does make it cute. Let's see some of these other, I think these are all out of the Mary Maxim catalog. They were like puzzles or something. So there's another one that the yellow is going to really work for, because the house is kind of a yellow color. Let me, I didn't ink that one. I'm wondering if I should. I did a pretty good job of cutting these fairly straight and even. Let's try it without inking. So I think what I might do from now on, when I'm harvesting these kinds of things, is use my origami stack and try to do this to them right away. Because these have just been sitting in that little box for a year or so. And then maybe blue because of the water. Let me just see if there's a better blue. I like that blue, but this one might be better. I'm not sure. Nope, it's too purple. And I don't think the green will be right. It's about as good as the green, I guess. Probably more likely to use blue. I just saw something else that could work with this, and that's the inside of an envelope. No, I'll use this. So these are basically just embellishments. They could be tuck spots, or they could just be used as part of a cluster, or to decorate an envelope. Decorate anything, really. Just pretty little pictures. Yeah, I'm glad I decided to try that yellow, because it does add a little something, doesn't it? A little brightness. Here's another one that could work with the yellow, but I don't have enough of it there. There's yellows in the trees. There's one yellow car. There's a few red cars. I don't think I want pink with it. That's my solids. Red might work with it. And that might work with it. Make sure I'm happy with my cutting job. I think I'm going to grab another yellow. And layer that with yellow. By the time you get all these layers, that piece of very thin magazine paper is thick enough now to stand up if you use it as a tuck spot. And it just looks more impressive and important. This one with the blue bird and the, I don't know if that's a Baltimore Oriole and a cardinal, hummingbird, lots of detail, lots going on in this one. Is that red piece big enough? See, that's the other thing you can do, is use two colors. And do it more like a cluster design, like that. Just glue these two together. And it may or may not stay like that. You could also just take the ripple scissors and cut a nice even border. But those two colors are both in that picture, so I'll do that. Just to kind of unify it a little bit. That might look good on the green. Blue. It looks better on the blue. You notice I'm not using the white glue this time. I'm just gonna see with the thin papers if it really needs the heavy duty glue. Might be able to get away with just the glue stick. Depends what you're using it for, I guess. Now this is really pretty. This is spools of thread. All different colors. A lot of us like a good sewing theme. Even though we're paper crafters. So for this one, maybe yellow first and then green. Get the 3 sides even and then just cut the one side. The only problem with not using the white glue is you don't have any wiggle time. That is the nice thing about the white glue. It doesn't stick down right away. So that's fun playing with color layers. Now let's see, I've got some tiny things popping up here. There's a clock. I've got clocks over here. Look at them. A butterfly. That was one of my Flutterby butterflies. 3 layers. Put that in the butterfly drawer. Part of the problem with crafting is just putting things away. This is a tiny little piece. It looks like bricks. I'm going to just get rid of, actually I don't have to cut the white off. I can just ink it. Ink it into submission. Now that probably would look good against the brown paper. And I could just tear around it. Pretty sure I had a tiny little ruler here. I just organized a turnaround tool holder yesterday. I don't know if it's showing in the screen or not, but I did have a little tiny ruler in it. It's not jumping out at me. So I'll just do this with my great big one. Now that could use, I don't know, something else behind it. I don't know what yet. Let me just set that one aside. Now here's some cardstock from, I think it was from a address book. It's got a little design along that one side. So if I had something small I could put there like that. See what I've got in here. There's all kinds of little things. Some words that I can put in my word box. Another little piece of that trim. First place. Another one of those. Some of these things I don't even know why. Like a quarter of a sunburst. Not sure why I kept that. Just a little bit of graph and a little hedgehog. He's cute. He would look good on the brown paper as well. Just trying to get it so where you can see me, see what I'm doing. in case you aren't sure what to do. I'm just playing. Actually, I think I will try these scissors on this again. Make sure that it's not the scissors. I think it was just the thin paper, and this is actually pretty thin too. Get some tin foil out and cut it later. And that makes that guy look more important. What's this gingham? Burger Gourmet. Such a simple little thing. These definitely needs either red or black. I do think I have, yeah, I've got some black just out of a magazine where the page was almost entirely black. I always save those pages. And it just gives that a little oomph, little border. And that can be trimmed to a smaller border later or another layer added. On top of brown paper. Butterfly. Put it in with my butterflies. Okay, there's a black steam engine, I think. I think I want to ink that one. It has an old-timey feel to the subject matter. It's just out of a magazine, so it's not that old. Pretty glossy. I don't remember what it was from, but it'll look good against the black. Kind of bring it to life. See if the back side tells me. That's an Oriental rug advertisement. Much cuter. Now these little guys, and this says chapter 3. So I think what I'm going to do with that is make it look more torn out by the ripple scissors. And here, this paper is better quality, cutting much better. And I think I'm going to back that in black as well. So that's something to remember when you've got magazines that you're going to be tossing, is any pages that are almost all just a solid color, that they might be quite useful. It's nice thin paper. This is a little thicker than most magazines because it was out of an industry magazine, but it's a little bit thinner than scrapbook paper, so you can layer it up without getting too bulky. That's an interesting little quote. There's something pink that I could put on my snippet roll. Cut with fancy edge scissors. It looks like it's part of a flower. See, there's one, but it's got a much darker green. I don't know if I want to put that on there or not. These greens are all pale except for this little leaf there. Maybe I could put it somewhere near that, up in here. Kind of keeping that in sight so I don't forget about it. What else have I got here? A little thing of wine and cheese and grapes. I think that would look best against the brown paper maybe. Got a couple edges that are white, so I'm going to just ink it. Actually, maybe I'll put it up against the green paper first, or the yellow. I have a small piece. Looks good against the yellow. Makes you notice the cheese and the bread. And then maybe against the black. It's got a fairly dark black background. There's another one that's a little floral. It'll look good inked, and then on the yellow. The green's a little bright for it. It could go on like a burnt orange as well. Would look good. And then I think I'm going to ink it just to tone the yellow down a bit, because it's more of an autumn colors. And then, does it need black? I think this orange is a little bright, but maybe if I ink it, yeah, that'll work. If I ink it. And the other thing you can do, instead of trying to get them all perfectly even, is do wonky squares. There's another butterfly. So let's find one and try wonky squares. I think I've got all the ones with good colors. Oh, here's a little puppy dog in a red sweater. I'm going to ink his edges because he's got some little white bits that I didn't quite get cut off. And then let's put him down on black first. You don't have to put it down wonky, you can just cut wonky. Nope, that's not what I want. So that one's normal. Now let's see if we can make ourselves do it wonky. It's hard when you're not used to it. Okay, I'm gonna put it out in the middle here. Give myself some space. It's hard to cut a square. No, it's not working for me. The thought is there, but the how to do it just isn't there. I had one little corner nipped off, so I'm just going to nip off the rest of them. And that definitely needs some ink. So that's something else to remember. If the colors in your paper pack are a little bit bright, you can dull them down quite a bit with that ink. I didn't do this one. When it comes to fall stuff. Okay, what else have I got here? A lot of this stuff I don't think I want to use. That one looks better against the purple. It's a very, very pale purple. Might look good against black too, because the flowers are black and white. So let's do a layer of black first. Very thin border of black. And then the purple. And a little bit wider, I think. Yeah, it's so pale you can't even see that it's purple almost. Now we've got some pears, and it's very mustardy yellow. Maybe that would look good with the purple or with a blue. Let's see how it is with the purple first, since I've got it out. That might look better with black first as well. Makes the purple look richer too when you have that stripe of black. And that's the other thing to remember too when you're salvaging or harvesting from a catalog or a magazine. You don't have to cut everything. You can tear things out. Like obviously I just tore this page out of the magazine. But when you're cutting out little pictures like this, you don't have to cut them. You can tear them. You could even tear to do this trimming. Maybe that's what I'll do on the purple. I just wanted to make that a little bit narrower. I'm going to get some of these little offcuts out of the way. say I was gonna do? Tear. Tear. I'm gonna tear. I'm gonna go on a tear. I'll have to put it out in the middle to do it. To do it easily. So you can put your ruler down so that you can see how much you're tearing away. So some of those people that were saying, you know, concerned about taking scissors on an airplane or something, take a little tear ruler and do some tearing. Especially if you don't normally, give you a chance to try it out. You can accomplish quite a bit with tearing, whether it's with a ruler or what I call fussy tearing around something. I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. So that was obviously with the ruler. Just inking those edges because they're a little white from tearing. And that looks good. This stuff's all too small to fussy tear around, but let me find a larger image. Okay, well this bee is a good example. So it was a bad print. I'm gonna cut it off. I'll just cut it off where the gray ends. I don't mind that sort of graduated look. And then if I wanted to fussy tear this, I would hold my thumb and just keep moving my thumb and tearing around that curve. And it doesn't matter if you get a perfectly even border, just like when you're using the ripple scissors, it's a little more forgiving because it's already a torn edge. It's not perfectly even anyway. So that's what I call fussy tearing instead of fussy cutting. Now that is going to look great on the orange if I ink it. And then on black. That's what I'm thinking. Leave that edge square. And I think I'll just go around this with the ripple scissors. Could easily just fussy tear again. And then I did say black for that, didn't I? Could do it on the yellow too. Although I think it would need black again first. So let's see, I do have another piece here. Again, a piece of magazine. What's this from? Photo by Equip Azure Star and Cross. Don't know what that was. And this is going to make a good tuck spot, this one. It'll look good on the edge of a page. I'm going to leave the black exposed again along here. And this one, I think I might do the tearing again, although it can't start. I should have put it down a little bit. I don't care if it's real wide. Oops, I'm getting flush. I don't want it flush. I need a little bit of black right there, so I'm just going to glue it on from behind. And that piece needs to be nipped off. And then I was going to try it on the yellow, wasn't I? Yeah, I think it needs that extra layer. And that's going to be reinforced even more to make it a good tuck spot. A little more than half a circle. Feels good to use up a whole page of something. And I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I haven't checked the time here to see how long we've been, but it's been fun. So thank you for joining me. And like, comment, share, and subscribe. But most of all, have a great day and happy crafting.